Eric and I are getting going today, doing some organization. We got another light, we got another heater, and the first thing we're going to do is this frame out this window in preparation for its install. So I think we got a plan. I'm going to start by cutting the plywood out, get it all flush cut. Eric's going to start working on the lower wall. Quite a few decisions on this, and what I decided to do is all our other walls are going to be 4.5 inches, 2x4 wall with a 1 inch gap in between, but we don't want the 1 inch gap on this one. And so we're actually going to cut 2x6s down to 4.5 inches, so cut 1 inch off. So we'll kind of keep the same reveal. We'll explain that better when it comes, but that wall will come flush to the top of that girt, and then we gotta flash that on the outside, make an upper one that'll match up there, and then we're gonna make some homemade trim that will basically mount on the girt, so it'll be about 2 inches in, and then that's where that window will seat up against. So anyway, that's the project for the day. Gonna be fun to start building and get going. So we're putting this, what we call a gray goop, and it's left over from the SIP panels. It's an adhesive and a sealant and a barrier. And so we're putting this down on the bottom plate as just those things, a sealant and a moisture barrier goop. So choosing not to put down a pressure treated board on the plate, this is what we're choosing to do. I can do whatever I want. It doesn't have to be pressure treated. I just don't like pressure treated that much. So anyway, that's what we're doing.
Well, and you got a lot of this left over.
And we got lots of this stuff, yeah. Yeah, lots of it. So might as well use it up. Getting our first little pony wall together. Got the bottom plate on and secure. Some concrete screws. Yeah, it's kind of exciting. Look, it's kind of fun.
Yes.
All right, the wall starting to take shape here. Decided to go 12 inches on center because of the weight of that glass that's going in there, and then a double bottom and a double top. It should be plenty stout. The window's 550 pounds.
That's what they said, yeah.
Yeah, 550 pounds. So we got that in. We have a slight bow, and so we're hoping when we put the second top plate in that we'll screw from the outside and suck that in. So we did that on the bottom plate and it seemed to work. So anyway, it's cool. We went ahead and pre-planned for electrical chases, and so they're all drilled out and ready for some outlets when the day comes. So, and then chases behind the wall or behind the posts are already in. So yeah, it's awesome. One other little detail is I bought 2x6x10s, which are 10-foot ½ inch that we determined. And the opening is 10-foot 1 inch, because there's a 1 inch or ½ inch around the whole thing. And so this double plate we're gonna make in 2 pieces and bring it flush to the corner. And so there'll be a seam halfway through. All right, we're up here putting in this upper little header wall, whatever you call it. So this is the detail that we're talking about. See how there's an inch gap there? And so that's on purpose. So when we put the spray foam in there, they'll have this 2 inches on the girt and then this inch gap between the studs. And then so that'll all get spray foam. So basically 3 inches. So it'll come into the bay just a hair into those the 2x4s. But then that is a thermal break between the girts and the sheeting. Just trying to that thermal break have as much thermal break as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the idea. That's how as much as the walls we can, we'll have that 1 inch gap. Is the plan.
And this is what I've heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but that first, in a closed cell foam, the first inch is 70% of your insulation. So that inch gap it should mean something.
Yeah, should mean something. Yeah, we'll have, the posts are gonna be, what do we call those? Conductive, thermal conductors.
Right, I guess
so the posts you can't get around, but you have a lot of wood there. It's a poor insulator, but it is what it is. And then of course the window isn't a very good, it's not a real good thermal conductor, but you gotta have light and it's gotta be cool. So anyway, that's the idea. getting going here this morning. Rained quite a bit last night. Said up to a half an inch, so now it's just kind of wet and foggy. Eric's playing with some flashing. So this stuff on the bottom is the regular tape, and this stuff here is the stretch tape. That's a 6-inch wide piece. So the idea is that that's gonna go around that corner. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah.
This stuff will come around like that.
Stretch.
Holy cow.
Yeah. It's pretty good, huh?
Did it. That was awesome.
Yeah. So Eric was just saying he likes it because it's see-through, so you can kind of see exactly where your lines are.
Where this is.
And then it has this pre-cut 2-inch backing there. So yeah, looking good. Finished up all the zip tape yesterday on the outside of the south end, and then cut out this door here. So it's raring to go. Still need to do the bottom edge. We know that. I know that. And Eric framed up the little head wall for this door here. So we'll put that up there. Tape that. Next thing I'm gonna do is work on the trim piece, the exterior trim piece on the big window. I'll put some thought into it. I'm just gonna work a piece up and see how it looks.
Dude, it worked.
It worked. Awesome. Okay, I got this molding trim, I guess, I don't know. So the idea here is that, well, this is gonna sit on that girt, so that's 2 inches here, and then we have a 1-inch overhang. That'll allow the board of the board and batten to come up underneath it and be at the same plane. And then on the front, we'll probably put a trim piece and maybe have a little reveal on the front part of that. And then I made this 3/4 of an inch here, and then a nice flat surface for that window to mount into. So, and then I'm just planning on just 45 in the corners, putting it in. See what it looks like. Got this first piece here, rough fitted. So that's kind of what it's gonna look like. I nipped off the end there. Just give that corner a little space so it doesn't dig into that zip flashing. And yeah, have all the other pieces cut up so we're just fitting into size. So going good. Okay, got that first piece kind of tacked down. Got the laser on the line that we want. And so we're gonna set the top piece in and then kind of then snugly fit the side pieces. So that's probably a different way to do it, but so with one of these 4-inch trim finish screws, figured that was a good one to use. I don't know, just making this stuff up as we go. Okay, we got the pieces in. We used laser and just lined it up right on that laser line. So little tiny proud up there of the laser line, but just super close. So we're happy with that. Happy with all the joints, like dynamite for rough cut stuff. Yeah, so this is a frameless window, and that window will mount right into that casing, I guess, casing trim. I made it 2 inches thick there, so it's a beefy piece to put that glass up to. It's a big glass, it's 550 pounds, 10 feet wide, 7.5 foot tall, so that should be installed in just a few days. Well, Eric and I have been out here working a little bit this evening. Ended up getting that window fully cased, so we're happy about that. And then we went ahead and flashed the bottom edge there where it meets the concrete, so that's good. Eric's been cleaning up. Yeah, looks good, looks pretty spectacular. We got a full moon tonight. Really pretty. Back out here the next morning, little light snow falling, but not too bad. Feel real good about this big picture window. Just laid some underlayment on there to keep it dry. The door is all done. Now it's ready for that. So we're changing focus to the sliding glass door. I don't know if you can see up there, but we've already installed the upper header there, and Erik is flashing that. Now, got one piece of subfloor in there for them to stand on, and I want to put the deck joists in, and so kind of have been working on that a little bit. I wanted to put a double plate on whatever you call that piece that ties the building together. But it was a full 2x10, and then I laminated a store-bought 2x10 to it. So that is the deck. Members will sit on top of that. So I'm going to try to fashion my laser up and see if I can get a line going up there to the top of that, and then that'll give me a good spot to put my brackets in. So anyway, get to it. Basically, Erik's done all the hangers. We use that laser and kind of see it up there, how he got to the opposite side, and we're just putting in the deck joist now. Yeah, going good. Up here getting the upper door flashed. So getting closer, getting dark. Again. Just not too many more days and it'll start getting lighter every day. So we're putting the regular zip flashing tape on the long joints, and then we're gonna use a little of that stretchy for the corner, and then I think for the bottom we're gonna do liquid flash. So looks pretty cool up here. Just getting going here the next morning, working solo out here today, and just looking at that front window with light snow coming down. Sure is pretty. My dad just dropped that trailer full of logs. That's off of the old cedar pilings. He needs a few things cut, so I'll get to that eventually. So just a beautiful day. It's about 32 degrees, just this light snow coming down. And this is how the deck joists turned out. I think it looks pretty nice. I didn't use a ledger board on the building side there because we put that ledger board in already, so it's behind the zip. There's a full thickness 2x10 behind there that all those joist hangers went to, and then on this side just right into that beam. So turned out nice and level. It was nice having laser up there, and then you can kind of see that put a piece of flashing there to flash that, and I needed to do that prior to finishing flashing that bottom door for the slider. So starting to give that some good looking space. Finished up all the zip tape up there. Still need to finish liquid flashing the peak up there, but getting there slowly. So next on the agenda is framing this wall right here. I'm gonna start with this one because there's an exterior man door there on the left-hand side, and I wanna have that ready for when the doors and windows come so that door can be installed. I'd like to have both exterior. There's another man door going on the east side, but I'd be happy if this wall was ready and ready for a door by the time they got here. So this will be my first attempt at this wall system and integrating it to the outside. Put a lot of thought into it, so now I just need to make it come true, I guess. So let's get to it. All right, first step. This is gonna be the bottom plate. And I put some of that gray goop on there. It's a sealant and water barrier. So, and then I left that spot out for the door because I'll cut that out afterwards. And then that sits out an inch away from that girt. So all these walls, as much as possible, we'll try to have an inch space in there. So first step, and then I'll secure that with some anchor screws into the concrete and go to the next step. Well, I was having a heck of a time getting those concrete screws in. Erik had brought over a container he had, and then I had bought a container. Well, I was using Erik's, but the drill bit stunk, and so I went into mine, and because it came with some drill bits, so I started using that. Well, I don't know, there's a big difference. 3/16 and a 1/4 inch. That drill bit was not, well, it just didn't make a big enough hole for that, for these thicker ones to go in. So anyway, lesson learned there. Seems like I'd like to use those 1/4 inch, so I just need to get some more drill bits to match that concrete bit. So anyway, learning as I go. Okay, so next step. So basically I'm gonna build the wall with the door framed out and then slide it in there and get the measurements to cut out all the girts. Yeah, it'll make more sense. So as I go, but yeah, time to do something new besides messing with that stupid bottom plate. Now I'm getting this wall lined out. I cut the header board for the door frame, and it just didn't seem like it's fitting. So I got the tape measure back out, and I measured 37.5 inches wide for the door, but it needs to be 38.5. So just need to scoot that over an inch. It's fine, no harm yet, but just shows I need to pay attention to what the heck I'm doing. Just getting going on this, and so making an error like that to start with is not so good. But so it's gonna be a funny wall. where the door doesn't go, just gets a regular 2x4 wall. All that holds is electrical and the whatever kind of interior finish we do there. But then where the door goes, that's going clear to the zip sheeting to the inside of that. So that's why that's all thicker. So anyway, keep going. So I've nailed the door frame up, and so I'm gonna place it in its spot and then mark all my spots where I need to cut the girts out and where to notch them, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so the idea here is we're gonna take out this whole girt here, actually those three, and then gonna leave that upper girt and notch out the 2x8 that's cut down to go around that. So I'll notch that one and then cut the rest of them out. And then the bottom piece, I'm gonna notch that out, so then that will slide on top of it, if that makes sense. So anyway, that's the detail that I'm thinking about, that I've been thinking about. I know lots of ways to do this. My buddy Todd came up with this design, and it seems like it makes sense. So we'll be doing the windows and doors, or the windows similarly to this. So kind of the first dry run at this. All right, girts are cut. That bottom one takes a notch. So those cut down 2x10s can sit on top of that. And then the others just fit flush. So there's one more girt up there, and so I have to notch the 2x8s so it'll slide in there. So that's my next project, is to notch that. And then I'll do a test fit. If everything looks good, I'll put the wall together, put it in. Learned a little bit on taking those girts out. Those nails hold tight. You can't really bang that off without pushing the nail heads through. So I think the easiest way is just to cut the whole piece out with the zip sheeting attached. So just something learning as I go. Once this is all installed, then I'll zip the rest of the zip sheeting up to the window or the door frame. So that's the idea there. This left side actually, there's a joint there, and so it is a little short, but I think I'm just gonna leave that and then put my flashing around that. So anyway, get back to it. Okay, it fits. I'll do a slight little modification there to get it to snap in there, but all the joints look good. That pounds in fine up there. So pull that out and build the wall, and hopefully it'll go right back in there. So that's the plan anyway. See how it goes. You can tell that this wall without any support here is pretty, there's a lot of give to that. So we'll put some nails in it and stiffen it back up, but that should give adequate support for that door and tie it into the structure and tie it to the ground. So all good things. All right, thank goodness Erik came around. Everything went in just fine. I was happy with everything. But we did have to take it out and plane down the top. There's about 2 feet that just was a little too tight to get in. But that's the detail. So now I'll cut that bottom plate out, router the edges, get nail around the sheeting, the zip sheeting. I've already screwed everything in. So there's that air gap that we were talking about, thermal break, where the spray foam will go. I am missing a couple, two, I don't know what you call those, little studs. I know they have a name. For nailers up there, I didn't get those in, but I can do that later. So yeah. The other structural component, I'm not too worried about this one here into this wall. I sunk some 5-inch screws into that post through that double 2x8 there. But on this one, the plan is, so where this girt is here, we'll put 3 long screws into that to tie that in. So right now, the only thing really tying this wall in is the sheeting to the door jamb. So Anyway, looks like we're gonna make it. I want to get this project done so I can have another door to be installed here in a couple days. So learning process, but coming along. Okay, it's all done. So I think I'll start on the flashing. I'm not gonna bother doing anything about this, where that seam was. I'm just gonna flash around that. I think that's gonna be good. Turned out good. Happy with it. So flash that and then maybe flash around the doors. Just where it needs flashing so I can get that project a little bit further ahead. I don't think I'm going to use the lift, just whatever I can reach here on the bottom. So, and if I'm going to use a little liquid flash at the bottom, I might as well put that liquid flash along the edge here and finish that up too. So good stuff. Well, I was able to get that door flashed up tonight and then the liquid flash at the bottom. So it's ready. So my goal was to have 5 things ready for the doors and windows when they come in just a couple days. We got 4 out of 5. So better. It could have been better, but I'll take it. So today's Monday. Windows and doors come Wednesday. So lots of changes. I just have some cleanup to do and move everything out of the center aisle so they can have access to get that big window in, and we'll be ready for them. So good learning process today, doing that one window, and hopefully it's just like everything else. You do one and the rest of them will come much faster, but it's kind of an all-day thing. So anyway, appreciate everyone watching. Look forward to some comments there, see what people think of how we did things. And we'll catch you with the next video. And you guys have a good evening, day, or wherever this video finds you.